my dear children. Welcome to my channel, my YouTube channel, Simple Science. In my YouTube channel, I will be focusing more on ICSE physics, though it is related to the whole science, physics, chemistry and biology of ICSE syllabus. But for now, I will be making some videos only based on physics. So, in this video, I am going to cover for chapter 3, force and pressure. This chapter will be covered in 3 or 4 parts. Now this is the first part. In this video, I will show you the first part of my lesson. Chapter 3, force and pressure. In this chapter, the students will be able to explain the turning of force with examples from daily life. They will be able to define the moment of force, their unit, express moment of force in proper units, solve some simple numerical problems based on moment of force. They will be able to define pressure, express pressure in proper unit, and few numericals. We will solve few numericals based on the formula of pressure. Children will be able to describe pressure exerted by liquid, pressure exerted by gas, different kinds of barometers, that is the instrument used for measuring pressure. But in first part I won't be able to cover the whole chapter, otherwise the video will be very lengthy. That is why we'll see how much we can do. I think we will be able to finish up to pressure in general. Now when a child is kicking a ball, what does he do? When a boy is pushing a cart or a trolley, what does he do? When a boy is pushing a car, what does he do? And in tug of war, the two teams are pulling the rope. What do? They are applying force. They are applying force on the object. So, force is a push or pull on an object resulting from the object's interaction with another object. Here, the ball is interacting with the boy, or the boy is interacting with the ball. The boy is interacting with the cart or pushing the cart. So, if there is an interaction between two bodies and force, the bodies, one body is pushing or pulling any other body, we say that the force is applied. Now, what is SI unit of force? SI unit, regarding SI unit and CGS unit, I will make another video. What do you mean by SI unit? What do you mean by CGS unit? Which I think you must have learnt in class 6 and class 7. Now, unit of force. The SI unit of force is Newton and CGS unit of force is Dyne. And what is the relation between them? The relation between Newton and Dyne is 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power 5 Dyne. The force Newton is, yes, this is Newton sitting under the apple tree. He discovered gravitational force. So the SI unit of force Newton is taken from his name. This is the apple tree, the actual original apple tree under which he discovered the gravitational force. Now, what are the types of forces? There are two types of forces, contact force and non-contact force. What do you mean by contact force? As the word says, contact, the two bodies should be in contact with each other when the force is acting. When the man is pushing the box, the hand of the man and the box, they are in contact with each other. So the push is a contact force. Then friction, the force acting between the box and the surface or the ground, is a contact force. So they are in contact, the box and the surface, they are in contact with each other. So this kind of force, this friction force, is also a contact force. Other examples of contact forces are squeezing, pulling or stretching or compressing of a spring. Then we'll come to non-contact force. When an apple falls from a tree, it is attracted by earth. Yes, so earth is exerting a force on the apple. Earth is exerting a gravitational force on the apple. There exists any object which is thrown up definitely comes down. Why it comes down? Because earth is attracting that object, or earth is pulling that object towards itself. So there is a force which exists between the object and earth, but they are at a distance, they are not in contact with each other. So this kind of force, this gravitational force, is called a non-contact force. Then other examples of non-contact forces are magnetic force. As you know that a magnet attracts or repels another magnet, but it is not necessary that they should be in contact with each other. This force acts from a distance also. Another example of non-contact force is electrostatic force. Okay, now we'll move to the next topic, which is moment of force. When you apply force on an object, it moves in the direction of the force applied. For example, when you apply force in forward direction, the trolley will move in forward direction. But when you apply force on an object which is not free to move, that means it is fixed about an axis of rotation. So like a door, the door is fixed about an axis of rotation. It is not free to move. So when you are closing or opening the door, or when you are applying force on the door, it will produce a turning effect. It will turn or rotate about the axis, that is hinges. So when you are pushing a door, when you are applying force on the door to push a door or pull a door, it will turn about its hinges. This turning effect is called the moment of force. So moment of force is nothing but turning effect produced by the force. So when we apply force on an object which is free to move, it will move in the direction in which you have applied the force. But when you apply force on an object which is not free to move, which is fixed about an axis, it will not move in a linear manner, but it will rotate, or it will produce turning or turning effect. So this turning effect is called moment of force. One more example we will take. This is a spanner. A spanner is used to rotate or to loosen or tighten a nut. So this nut about which the spanner rotates, this is the fixed point, or it is also called pivot, or pivot is also called axis of rotation. The axis of rotation or pivot is the point about which the body is fixed, or the object is fixed and capable of rotating. So when we apply force on the spanner, it produces a turning effect. In this case, the turning effect produced is in this direction. Of course, I will tell you what are the directions of turning effect. Okay, so now what are the factors on which turning effect depends, children? The factors on which turning effect depends, one factor is force. More the force applied, more will be the turning effect. When you go to a mall or anywhere where glass doors are there, they are very difficult to open. A child, when he applies force on the door, he is not able to open the door. But a man can push the door and open it easily. Why? Because man is applying more force than the child. So, more the force applied, more will be the turning effect. So, one factor on which turning effect or moment of force depends is force. So, the magnitude of force applied. Magnitude means value. Magnitude, those of you who don't know what is meant by magnitude. Magnitude is nothing but, yes, value, a numerical value. More the magnitude of force, more is the moment or turning effect. The second factor is distance between the fixed point or axis of the body and the point where force is applied. So here in this diagram, D is the distance between the pivot or axis of rotation and force. More the distance, more will be the turning effect or moment of force. I will explain you this point again, taking the example of the door. Now, what is the formula of moment of force? Moment of force is equal to force into distance, as moment of force directly depends on force and distance of force from the axis of rotation. Now, can you think and tell me what will be the unit of moment of force? SI unit of force is Newton and SI unit of distance is meter. So, SI unit of moment of force will be Newton into meter, that is equal to Newton meter. And CGS unit of force will be equal to Dian centimeter, because CGS unit of force is Dian and CGS unit of distance is centimeter. So, CGS unit of moment of force is Dian centimeter. This is the textbook. Now, a few examples of moment of force, turning effect from your daily life. When a child is cycling, he applies force on the pedal. So when he applies force on the pedal, the wheels rotate. That means there is a turning effect produced on the wheels. Then steering wheel, when you apply force on the steering wheel, turning effect, or when you are turning it or force is applied, it will either move in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Then this is a hand floor grinder, which also produces a turning effect about a fixed axis. A seesaw is a simple example in which the body is fixed or pivoted at a point and it produces turning effect when force is applied by the children. Then one more example, door. Now I will explain you how turning effect depends on the distance. As I told you, turning effect depends on the distance of the force from axis of rotation. Now, why have you ever noticed that the handle of the door is always provided at the free end? Why is it so? Why it is not provided about the hinges? Why it is not provided at the center or middle? Why it is provided close to the free end? Yes, to increase the turning effect. It is very difficult to open or close a door when you apply force close to the hinges. Why? Because the turning effect will be less if the distance of force from the axis of rotation is less. So that is why if the distance between the axis of rotation and force applied, point of application of force is more, turning effect will be more, or it is easily closed or open. The door is easily closed or open. With less effort, you can produce more. Okay. Now, what are the kinds of moment of force? Kinds of moment of force are based on the direction of moment. When you apply force on an object which is free to move, it will move in the direction of force, forward, backward, left, right. But when the object is fixed or pivoted at a point, it will rotate, and it will rotate only in two directions. One is clockwise direction and the other one is anti-clockwise direction. Clockwise means clockwise direction is nothing but the direction in which the needles of a clock move or rotate. That is clockwise direction. And the opposite of that is anti-clockwise direction. So there are two kinds of moments, clockwise moments and anti-clockwise moments. Here is an example of a rod of length, here 6 plus 4, 10 meter, which is pivoted about an axis of rotation. This triangular support is nothing but the axis of rotation. Now there are two forces acting on the object. One is 80 Newton, which is producing anti-clockwise turning effect, and one is 50 Newton, which is producing clockwise turning effect. Now what will be the turning effect? 80 Newton is the force. 4 meter is the distance of this force 80 Newton from the axis of rotation. 50 Newton is the clockwise force and 6 meter is the distance of this force from the axis of rotation. Now they will produce turning effect. 80 Newton will produce in anti-clockwise direction and 50 Newton will produce in anti-clockwise direction. Now can you calculate the turning effect or moment of force produced by anti-clockwise moments and clockwise moments? Yes. By the formula, moment of force is equal to force into distance. So anti-clockwise moments will be equal to 80 Newton is the force and 4 meter is the distance. So 80 Newton into 4 meter, that is nothing but 320 Newton meter. And clockwise turning effects will be 50 Newton into 6 meter, that is equal to 300 Newton meter. Now which turning effect is more? Yes, anti-clockwise turning effect is more, or anti-clockwise moments is more. So the body, overall the body will turn in anti-clockwise direction. How much it is more? It is 20 more than the clockwise moment. This is the textbook diagram. Pressure. So till now we have done force, we have seen force, types of forces, contact and non-contact forces, unit of force, SI unit, CGS unit. Then we have seen moment of force, that is turning effect, clockwise moments, anti-clockwise moments. And now our next topic is pressure. What do you mean by pressure? When a person is walking on a beach, he leaves footprints or impressions of the foot. When a child is walking on the sand, he will also leave footprints, but the footprints of man will be more deeper as compared to the footprints of the child. Do you know why? Yes, because the man is exerting more force on the ground. Force is nothing but weight of the object, or you can say weight is nothing but force. Weight is actually gravitational force acting on an object. So weight and force both are same things. So when I say weight, that means force. Okay. Now here in this case the weight of the man is more. That means force exerted by man is more as compared to force exerted by the child. That is why the impressions, the pressure exerted on the sand will be more by man. So from these diagrams, it is clear that pressure directly depends on force. More the pressure, more the force, more will be the pressure. So one factor on which pressure depends is force. More the force, more is the pressure. So a man will exert more pressure than a child on the object. Now what is this? Yes, now the second factor, we are talking about the second factor. Now in this case, this sandal has a pencil heel. Now the area of the sandal which is in contact with the surface, the force will act only on that area. And this is a flat slipper. Now which one would you prefer to walk on beach or to walk on sand? Yes, the flat one, the second case, not the sandal with heels. Why? Because the surface area of the sandal which is in contact with the sand is less. So pressure exerted on the ground will be more. Your weight will remain same. So the pencil heel will exert more pressure on the sand as compared to the flat slipper. So it is easy to walk with the help of flat slipper or barefoot as compared to heels. So from this we can say that pressure depends on area on which the force is acting. Now if the area is less, pressure will be more, and if the area is more, pressure will be less. So in this case the area of the sandal with pencil heel is less, which is in contact with the sand, and area of the slipper, flat slipper, is more, so pressure will be less. So less the area, more the pressure, more the area, less will be the pressure. So that is why it is easy to walk on sand with flat slipper. Now here is one more example to illustrate or to explain pressure. Why it is not easy to cut the vegetables or fruits with blunt edge? Why it is easy to cut with sharp edge of a knife? Yes, now here comes your pressure, force and area relation. You are applying force on the knife and the knife is exerting pressure on the vegetable or fruit. Now if the force is applied on more area in case of blunt edge, then pressure will be less, and if the force is applied on the sharp edge, the pressure exerted will be more. So sharp edge has less area, so more pressure. Blunt edge has more area in contact with the vegetable or fruit, so it exerts less pressure. So in this case, the give reason questions may come like why it is easy to cut with the sharp edge of a knife than blunt edge. So you will say or you will write that when pressure depends on area and pressure depends on force. In this case, if we are applying same amount of force, then the pressure exerted by the blunt edge will be more as its surface area is less. So sharp edge as the surface area is less. So when the surface area is less, pressure exerted is the more is the key word. Okay. Now pressure formula. Just now I told you that, or I explained you that pressure depends on force and area. So formula of pressure is force upon area. Why we don't write force into area? Because of their relation. Pressure directly depends on force. More the force, more will be the pressure. Less the force, less will be the pressure. And how it is related to area? Inversely. It is inversely or indirectly related to area. More area, less pressure, less area, more pressure. So that is why area will not come in the numerator, because it is indirectly or inversely related. The values which come in the numerator, they are directly related. So here force and pressure are directly related. If one increases, the other also increases. If pressure increases, that means force is more. Or if force increases, that means pressure exerted will be more. But area is inversely related to pressure, or pressure is inversely related to area. Area increases, pressure decreases. Area decreases, pressure increases. That is why area is in the denominator. That is why the formula of pressure is force upon area. When we are defining pressure, we will say normal force. Normal force is nothing but thrust. It is also called thrust. So we are applying normal force on an area, that will give you formula of pressure. Now you can easily explain that why it is easy to hammer a nail, sharp nail or a pointed nail than a blunt nail. Yes, area. The area of sharp or pointed nail is less. So pressure exerted will be more. Whereas the area of tip of the blunt nail is more. So pressure exerted will be less. Now in this diagram there is a brick which is placed in 3 different positions. The same brick is placed in 3 different positions. Now we have to calculate, or we have to find the pressure exerted on the ground in each case. Now the brick is same, so the weight of the brick will remain same. Weight of the brick means force. So force exerted by the brick will remain same. But the pressure exerted by the brick, will it be same in all 3 cases? No. Pressure exerted in all 3 cases will not be same, though the force of the brick is same, or the weight of the brick is same, because it is the same brick. We are taking the same brick in the different positions. So weight is same or force is same, but pressure in all 3 cases is not same. Why? Because the area on which the force is acting, or area in contact with the ground, is different in all 3 cases. So in These cases A, B and C, as you can see, in case A, the area in contact with the ground is least, so it will exert the greatest pressure. So in case A, the pressure exerted will be highest as the area is least in this case. Force in all three cases is same because weight of the brick is same. We will mathematically show or prove or calculate the pressure exerted in each cases in the next video. Now, unit of pressure. What is the unit of force? SI unit of force is Newton. And what is the unit of area? SI unit of area is meter square or square meter. So, SI unit of pressure will be Newton per meter square or Newton divided by meter square. Newton per meter square is also called Pascal, and the symbol of Pascal is capital P small a, PA. So SI unit of pressure is Pascal, or you can also say Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square is called Pascal, you can see. With this, the first part of force and pressure is completed. End of the chapter 3 part 1. In the next video, I will continue with the same topic, force and pressure, and we will proceed. All the best for your studies, children. I hope you have learned and you enjoyed the video. So please wait for my next video. Till then, study, stay safe. Thank you. God bless you.